Hey, Brian Parker here with another exciting video, doing something different. We're doing a video inside a video, meaning I got a live cam going, and so I guess you could maybe see me doing this video if you're in the live cam. But I love experimenting and getting out of the box. So let's see if it works, or if I'm already self-conscious, so let's see what happens. So the reason I'm doing this video today is oftentimes people will say, hey, I'm in the middle of a summary judgment, or I got a summary motion coming up. There's not much I can do unless it's case by case. I do have a video or two on how to prevent it, what to do if you're in the middle of it. But what I want to do today is actually show you one, at least verbally. My next one I'm going to tape the actual court proceeding. Hopefully I win. I had two this week, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, both from the same plaintiff, both from the same law firm, against different clients that I represented, both exactly the same reasons why they should win and why my client should lose and be summarily dismissed. So when you lose a motion for summary disposition, you're summarily dismissed. And the intricacies of law is you're dismissed on the merits, which really kills your appeal, or on the law, or on some other quirk, you didn't file something on time. So there's different levels of dismissal which dictate your ability to appeal or have the thing reconsidered. But their job against me was to get my defense. See, I teach you about answering properly in affirmative defenses and that amazing account stated counter affidavit video. It's everything, and it follows you all the way to trial. But the main thing is you want to zone in using, what are we using? That's right, their own documents against them. And as I said in yesterday's video, 80% of your defense is using their documents. I say all that with the following in mind. I'm going to give you why I won both motions. Courts want to dismiss your case. The first case, the judge said, I don't usually go where you want me to go, Mr. Parker. What you've done, it was in sort of as they say in Michigan, an up north territory where here's the city, here's up north. In fact, when you were in Michigan, you always say, hey, where do you live? You go, I live right here. Oh, I live right here. So I'm based out of here, which is Detroit, and the video was, and the motion was here, I think, and the other motion was here. So it's Detroit and up north, there's two different things. So they are no less of a brilliant mind. You sometimes get hometowned. So if you're not from the area, you'll get hometowned, meaning they'll bring in another attorney from that local area, and you're coming all the way 200 or 300 miles from Detroit, city slicker. And it's just that type of stuff. So this guy was honest. The judge was honest about it. He goes, I never seen anything like this before, what you're doing, Mr. Parker. So they had brought the motion quickly under his authority. The case had been going maybe 30 days, I'd filed the answer, and they quickly filed a motion for summary against my client, and it stood a pretty good chance of winning. I had already done the work with my counter affidavit, so I came in this way. These were the 3 or 4 issues I came in that was in my counter affidavit. And as I'm preparing for the next motion, not this one I'm going to tell you about, I discovered something huge. I'm going to tell you at the end of this because it just falls into place. I'm not playing any YouTube viewing tricks, but it'll fall into place. So the 3 or 4 things I came in, I said, and you have to say this in first tip, in response to a summary motion, there is a material issue in dispute as to the ownership of the debt. So if that fits your reason for responding to their motion, it's clearly why you're going to survive. If you can show a genuine material issue in dispute. In this case, the dispute is the ownership of the debt. If you can show they don't own the debt, what business do they have suing you? So they went all in, and then they replied to my response. Oftentimes when someone replies, they do themselves more harm than good. In this instance, they actually used the green case against me to say, this is how assignments are done. We did what the green case said. Then somebody did some research, and then they came with a reply to my response, which was based on green. Oh, we looked into green, and what has happened with green, it's so powerful for this outside of things. Someone's appealed it to what's called an en banc court, meaning appeals courts are made up of several judges. Here's 3 here looking at the stuff, here's 3 here, but they're all inside the circuit. An en banc appeal is, we want all 9 judges to take a look at this. And it's a rough chance to get there, but I think they have at least got someone to say, hey, let's take a look at this. So they came in and said, we followed green, and then they came in with the reply, green doesn't apply here. So you better believe when he was crapping all over, actually yesterday they were crapping all over green, I repeated in their own brief, which said, green is perfect. And the guys got upset. So the 5 things I went in on is, there is no assignment to the buyer of the debt in this bill of sale. I'll show you the bill of sale. There are 5 people signing off on it. There has to be an assignment between all 5, and there are some trusts. There aren't. There's no proof of authority of the signor of the bill of sale. Also, you've got to show this authority, and also you must look at the tricky language that lawyers use. So I'm going to call it the tricky language section that lawyers use to see what they do to courts. I'll go, look, court, you can't do this because here's what the law says. So you got to go read to see if they're playing games, because generally they are. And then you can see that the real thing that they claim to be quoting is missing 1 word, and it's the word. So I'll show you the tricky games that lawyers play. And now, at the end of this, the 5th thing, I'm going to show you something on a personal note. When I was in college, I had to take loans just like everybody else and have a full-time job. In law school too, that was a pain. But my job was a store detective. So you could not believe your eyes when you saw it. I could never believe it because I'm naive. I'd have to put my hand on my heart and it would be going a million miles an hour. So I'd go after the guy. But my eyes would trick me. So that's the feeling I got when I show you the fifth piece. It's going to be, it's not possible. I always say that, come on, that's not possible. But this is how I perceive what they did.